Well, this is unfortunate. I knew I shouldn't have stolen from my niece. Nothing good ever comes when you steal from children. Little demons.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Oh. Hey, guys. Well, JFoo here, and before my last episode got hijacked by an 8-year-old, I was going to do an episode on a spectral detective who is determined to solve the mystery of his own death. So, I guess we'll just jump into it with...
Murdered Sole Suspect. A game Stormy and I were really excited for, and when we saw the trailer for it, we were pretty hyped. But when it came time to buy it, I had just moved into a new apartment, and I was broke as hell. So fast forward to now, and well, boy am I glad I didn't buy it upon release. Before I say more, let's get to the grit of the situation. From a character aspect, I gotta say, overall, I like the main character. He's a former criminal turned cop. How this happened without a strange legal battle over a criminal becoming a cop, I don't know, but that sounds like a TV movie for another time. But Ronan, the main character, did so because his wife inspired him to be a better person. He literally describes her as the best part of himself, and honestly, I really felt the love he had for her. And it was clear that he was tired of living without her, and boy, did he get his wish when a murderer shoved him out the window, falling immediately to his death. Wait, he survived that? Oh, I guess you can't get deader than that now. But Ronan quickly discovers that he cannot be with his wife in the afterlife unless he's able to catch his killer. As weird as the plot sounds, I thought overall it was a compelling idea. Notice how I say idea? Well, we'll come back to that later. So, gameplay. Being a ghost detective, you have several tools in your arsenal. You can walk through walls, possess people, and teleport. Walking through walls have obvious benefits. Possessing people allows you to hear their thoughts and gather information. As you ghostily walk through the town of Salem, yes, that Salem, you can happen upon various otherworldly individuals and help them piece together how they died, or help them resolve some unfinished business, or help them send a message to a loved one to help them move on from this world to the next. This part of the game isn't bad exactly, but it involves you mostly walking around a lot and looking for things, and backtracking to certain areas at times. It can become a bit tedious. There is also a ton of collectathoning in this game, and all this collecting helps you expand the lore in the world the game shows you. Is this good? Is this bad? I'll also come back to this later. If you guys thought Mass Effect Andromeda had a somewhat predictable story, you're going to feel like a psychic playing this game, because every single plot point is extremely easy to figure out. And honestly, I felt disappointed that this game failed to surprise me at all. And a lot of the time, I found myself thinking, who cares? Because I had no reason to. Now, as I said, the collectibles expand the lore of the game, but the way the story is presented, you don't feel like you really need it. It's just another thing thrown in to make the game longer. And speaking of drawing the game out, let's talk about the biggest issue with the game. Combat. Yeah, combat. Or as I call it, the worst part of the game. Why they thought these segments were needed in this game is beyond me, because I did not like them in the least. And honestly, it's not even really combat. It's mostly just the waiting game, the game. These creatures appear. They want to kill you. Why? Because hashtag ghost life. And honestly, I don't even remember if these creatures were even properly explained, but I couldn't really care. These waiting segments are the slowest, mundane sequences I've played in a game. You literally just sit in one spot and watch their patterns. Once you got the pattern down, you sneak up and kill them. The end. Now, if they spot you, you have to use your teleport ability to try and escape them, which just involves you warping around until they stop looking for you. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just fluff to pad out the game, and honestly, that disappointed me.
So, when I bought this game, I settled in for a long mystery adventure, and honestly, I only got about 3 hours of playtime. And that isn't to say the game is bad, really, but I don't think it was worth the full $60 release that it got. But if it started from $20 at the start, then I might have recommended it to somebody. But there really isn't all that much to say that this game is replayable. So with that being said, if you're looking for a mystery that'll draw you in and captivate you for a long time, I'm not entirely sure you're going to like this game. But given that it goes for really cheap nowadays, used, I mean, if you want to kill a couple hours, then, that's a pretty alright game then for a cheap price. So that being said, folks, I'll see you guys on the other side, and I'll close the show with my lifeless dead body. Bye.